With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves with Gary K.
Hey Chuck, how are you? This is Chuck Wilson. I've got Chuck Wilson as my guest, the CEO, executive director of NSCA at nsca.org. Hey Chuck, how are you doing?
I am good. Gary, how are you today?
I really appreciate you joining me. And the reason why I wanted to have you on today was I wanted you to talk about your BLC. This is an annual event that you do, and I think it stands for Business and Leadership Conference. But it's, NSCA is kind of in a unique position. You're needed now more than ever because you're sort of a business consulting association specifically for the AV market. And I can't imagine a more critical time to have an organization like you exist. Talk about your services real quick.
Well, and that's, to your point, that's what we found out in 2020 is we've never had a stronger relationship, a bond with our members, the loyalty factor, just, when times are difficult or uncertain, that's when people need groups like NSCA. We need our associations to help us, provide benchmarks and guidance and some direction and best practices. We hear stories every day about companies that struggle and a lot the companies that are finding unique ways to be successful. And so I think it helps to have a community like NSCA to be part of when things are uncertain for companies. That's what we found out, and it's going really well. We had probably our best year ever last year in terms of membership growth and sustainability and everything because of that. And getting ready for BLC, we're getting a great turnout, great response to the sessions and everything. So it's a critical time right now, and we're responding, I think, in a pretty good way.
Well, there's never been a better time to have a business and leadership conference in our industry because when times are great, two things happen with something like a BLC. You're too busy to attend, right? Because you're working on other projects, or you feel like, my business model is working really well. So why do I need to bother getting, any advice on changing it? Now, however, no one has been untouched by the effect of the pandemic. It's been talked about more than ever. And they need your advice, the organizations. And remember, for those of you who don't know this, nsca.org, what they do is they specifically focus on the integrator and how to help the integrator run their business better, not just with products, but with services, and also provide all sorts of third-party services and partnerships that help you save money with everything from healthcare to taxes and things like that. So the BLC is later this month, right? It's in February?
Yep.
Yeah, and you can find out about it at nsca.org. And we've been proud to partner with NSCA for a year now with the launch platform. They've been using the launch platform for their virtual events. But more importantly, this event, the BLC, is specifically designed as a place where not just NSCA will help you and make some recommendations and give you some insights, but you'll be surrounded by other peers. Talk about the sort of experience and how you're going to simulate that experience with the BLC being virtual, Chuck.
Well, yeah, and thanks to your technology is a big part of it. So about half of the event is keynote speakers, and we get world-class keynote speakers that talk about things that have been very deliberately placed in the schedule based on our industry peers, integrators saying, these are the things that we need to hear about and be better at. So we've got, just setting financial leadership up in your company. What does that look like? And what does our processes look like compared to the best in our industry? So we have half of the sessions are industry experts talking about the best practices we've been able to uncover. The other half is outside of our industry, people saying, we think your industry would benefit from doing things this way rather than how you've done it for umpteen years or whatever. So we look at things like agility. Right now, we can't think of a better topic than how to become more agile, how to move and adapt and pivot and be more nimble and creative and gritty, and figuring out ways where you can change your focus, give your sales team more high valued activities that they should be doing instead of just doing things the old way. So we have got it in 2 days of packed content for ideas that came from industry members saying, this is what we think our industry could benefit from, and that's what we put together.
So it is an event that that, as I said, is very timely, and it's specifically open, and the invites are, the reason why we're doing this is for the integrator community. So if you go to nsca.org, you'll see information on the BLC, Business and Leadership Conference. Normally it would have been an in-person event in a fun, warm place, but now it's a virtual event. And the great thing about it being virtual is that you can actually invite pretty much anyone you want to join and be part of the BLC. And it includes a bunch of concurrent sessions, breakout sessions, a lot of networking, more networking than you realize. We've actually integrated our networking, the launch networking module into it. So you'll have the chance to not only talk to groups of people, because we'll have rooms with the different groups of types of integrators, but we'll also get the ability to reach out one-on-one to everyone in attendance, including Chuck. So I would encourage you to attend, but more importantly, become members of NSCA. I think one thing that'll come out of this is that you'll see the reason to join an organization like NSCA. And I've been part of NSCA for, I don't know, at least 20 years, spoken at events, been part of the long-term planning committee a few times, been part of the education. Y'all gave me an award for education one time. That was a great honor. It's been great to be part of your organization, Chuck. And really, kudos to you. I know that you don't like to take a lot of accolades because I know your personality, but you really have personally cultivated that organization into really something special.
Well, and I surround myself with people a lot smarter than me. So we've got an awesome staff, and our board of directors over the last 20 years, whatever, it just keeps improving and improving. And we got great people on our board, and they give us unfiltered, great input to say, if we were able to do this, we could make our industry better. So we're working on profitability factors, trying to figure out how to attract the right clients, what our go-to-market strategy should be like, who the people we should be hiring should look like, both for today as well as skilled for tomorrow. And we look at all of the business processes, like how are we doing things internally in the back office to make us more competitive, or make us better in front of the customers? How do our processes benefit our best clients? We're looking at transformation from a project-based company exclusively to a project-based company, plus being able to work on a subscription model or as a service model. So there's just so many things going on. One of the biggest things that we spend our time with is all of our public policy and government affairs activity, and working on legislation and licensure and codes and compliance and all of the different permitting processes, dealing with prevailing wage and insurance issues. And there's just so much to running an integration business. It's more difficult than it's ever been from the standpoint of all that has to take place from legal compliance and all that. The technology has become actually the easier part of the business, I guess.
Yeah, it is kind of ironic, sort of the direction that's gone. I want to leave everyone with one other thing, is that the opportunity for you to find out what your peers are doing and what's working and what's not working in a critical economy like this is key. And that's the thing you can't get from most virtual events. You can get lots of our own virtual events, for example. We do a great job with helping companies launch new products, but we don't handle that kind of an interaction. And that's exactly what you get at BLC. You get the ability at BLC to learn and talk to your peers who sometimes would even be competitive. But when you're in a situation like this, they can be very helpful, because they won't look at it as competition, because they're going to learn something from you and you're going to learn something from them, because ultimately we all want to bring the market back. And there are areas of the market that are growing very rapidly that they'll share this kind of information. Your board is quite unique that way, because you have competitors on the board that are willing to just sort of, I wouldn't say give away secrets, but help each other in growing their business. So I would recommend that you not only become a member of an NSCA, but join the BLC. Go to nsca.org. And by the way, Chuck is very accessible. If you want to get in touch with Chuck, Chuck is easy to reach. I've been to events with Chuck. He rides the bus with the rest of us. He eats with the rest of us. He's a regular guy. He's just like us. And so I've enjoyed getting to know you over the last 20 years, Chuck. And congratulations on all the stuff that NSCA has done And I really appreciate you being a guest on my Rants and Raves podcast.
Thanks for having me. And the other thing about BLC is it's going to be very affordable this year. You think about, going to the Four Seasons like we were supposed to, and the cost of getting there, the cost of the hotel, the live event side of it was twice as much as what the registration fee is. So now you can go to BLC very affordably, not have to travel, spend 2 days in your office and save a lot of money. And the more people you sign up, the more savings there are on that. So it's kind of it's not our first choice having to do it virtual, but it's certainly something that, with our partnership here, is it's going to enable us to deliver the same content just in a very different way this year.
Yeah, and that's the key. You're going to get the same information. It's just going to be delivered in a way that is not one-on-one or person to person the way we'd like to be, but we're doing the best we can here. So I hope that you'll check it out. And of course, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Have a great day.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.